بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. 6. Today we want to learn graph ratio tables. Graph ratio tables. Graph ratio tables. So we want to use graphs to represent problems involving ratios and rates. We want to use graphs to represent problems involving ratios and rates. As you see, this figure, the name of this figure here, coordinate plane. Here we have this line here. The name of this line, x-axis. And here we have line perpendicular with the x-axis. The name of this line, y-axis. And this point between the two lines here, the name of this point, origin. And here we have point. The name of this point, order pair. As you see here, we have 4, 3. 4 means the location in x-axis, and the 3 means the location in y-axis. So the first number here, 4, the location in the x-axis. The next number 3, the location in the y-axis. I will repeat. The name of this figure, coordinate plane. Coordinate plane include two lines perpendicular together. This line, the name of this line, x-axis, and the name of this line, y-axis. And this point between the two lines here, O, the name of this line, origin. And we have here point 4, 3. This point, the name of this point, order pair. Number 4 here means the location.
السلام عليكم أستاذ.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. 4 means the first number here in the point. 4 means the location in the x-axis. Here 4. And 3 means the location in the y-axis. Now see with me this video.
Hello everybody. So we're working on graph ratio tables in the textbook that starts on page 47. It's lesson 5 in chapter 1. But we just think of it as 6.rp.3a. That's the standard that we do for graphing ratio tables. All right. So I'm actually going to go over some review first on the coordinate plane. All right, so here's our coordinate plane. Our coordinate plane is when two perpendicular number lines intersect at their 0 points. So the first thing I want to talk about is the y-axis. That's the one that is vertical, the one that goes up and down. And then we have the x-axis. And go ahead and copy down this picture so you can remember everything. The x-axis is the one that goes horizontal. I remember horizontal is like the horizon, okay? The horizon, you see the sun off in the horizon, and you can think of that as being side to side instead of up and down. And vertical is going up and down. The next thing that we need to make sure we understand about the coordinate plane is that, again, it's two number lines that intersect at their 0 points, and so that is called the origin, where it's 0, 0. And I know that looks like a little face, because we're so into our texting pictures and stuff. So that's our origin right there at 0, 0. And when we graph numbers onto a coordinate plane, we always go over on the x-axis and then up. So we go over and then up. And so in this case, we went over 4 and we went up 3 and we got our ordered pair 4, 3. Okay, and I just didn't number these, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and so this is going to be 4 over and 3 up, 4, 3. So that's just a review. You should have seen that before. So as I was just saying, that you can use any ordered pair to name any point on the coordinate plane. The first number is always our x, and the second number is always our y. And so you can express information in a table as a set of ordered pairs, and then you can see what the pattern is, and we're going to graph those ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. Remember that the origin is always at 0, 0. So for our first example here, and as far as writing this down, just follow along, and then we're going to go over another example that I'll actually have you draw. So just follow along with what we're doing on this page. It says the table shows the cost in dollars to create CDs of digital photos at a photo shop. The table also shows this information as ordered pairs, the number of CDs, comma, the cost in dollars. So if they're saying that the number of CDs is first, then that makes it our X value, and our cost in dollars is second, so that becomes our Y value. And so we have the number of CDs, comma, the cost in dollars. So for one CD, it's saying that it's going to be $3, so it's going to be 1, 3. For 2 CDs, then it's $6. That's just ratios. Think about your equivalent ratios that we just talked about in our last video. It would be 2, 6. For every 2 CDs, we have to pay $6. 3 CDs would cost $9. And when we graph that, we do it as 1, 3. We go over 1, up 3. The next one is over 2, up 6. The next one is over 3, up 9. So the first value, this tells us to go to the right, and then our second value, our Y, tells us how many to go up. So then it wants us to describe the pattern. Well, we see here that as we are climbing up in the amount, for every 1 CD that we increase, the cost increased by $3 because they're $3 each. So that makes sense, right? So for the cost increases by $3 for every CD we created. So now we're going to do this one on our own. So what I'd like for you to do is go ahead and make this real quick table. It doesn't have to have grid in it, okay? Just 2 lines like this, and you're going to number them. The bottom line is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then these going up are going to be skip counted by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And then we're going to graph the ordered pairs they've given us, talking about Gloria's earnings. So the first one says that in 1 hour, Gloria earns $5. So again, you know what? We need to say which one is which. We need to say which one is the hours and which one is the dollars earned. It tells us that hours is X. So our X-axis is the bottom one that goes horizontal. That's going to represent our hours. And then the ones going up and down are going to represent our dollars earned. So I'm going to change this to mine. I just want to make sure that you knew how to make yours, your coordinate plane. So for our hours, we go over 1. And for the dollars for this first hour, it's $5. So we're right about here. Okay, 1 hour, $5. And then for 2 hours, we're at $10. And then for 3 hours, we're at 15. So if you didn't go all the way up to 16 like they have in this graph, then you'll need to expand your graph. So those are our 3 points. And you can label them as you go, especially if it's in the middle like this one, and say 1, 5, 2, 10, and 3, 15. I'm sorry that mine are so sloppy. All right. And so now it wants us to describe the pattern in the graph. And so the pattern that I see is that for every hour that Gloria works, she earns $5. So for every hour Gloria works, she earns $5, or Gloria makes $5 per hour, right? All right. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is comparing ratios. So you can use tables and graphs to compare ratios. The greater the ratio, the steeper the line will appear. So that's really important. The greater the ratio, the steeper the line will appear. So if it's a ratio of let's say for this one, 1 to 4 versus a ratio of 1 to 6, 1/4 is a larger number, meaning that we're going to be a steeper line, whereas 1/6 is a smaller number, so it's going to be a less steep line. Steep means, like, think about a hill. If it's a really steep hill, it means it practically drops straight down. If it's not very steep of a hill, then it's not very angled. So that's what steepness means, angled or not angled, okay? So steeper is the greater ratio. And remember, ratios we can think of as fractions. So whichever the bigger fraction is the steeper line. So the example number 3 says that 2 friends are making scrapbooks. Renee places 4 photos on each page of her scrapbook. Gina places 6 photos on each page of her scrapbook. So you're going to make a table for each scrapbook. We've got Renee's scrapbook and we've got Gina's scrapbook. And you're making a column for pages, a column for the photos, and then also a column for their X, Y, because we're going to graph it in just a moment. So for every one page, there's 4 photos on Renee's. And so for 2 pages, for the ordered pair, that's going to be 1, 4. If there's 2 pages, how many photos would you have? You would have 8 photos, and then we would make the ordered pair 2, 8. If you have 3 pages, it would be 12, and that would make 3, 12. And 4 pages would be 16, so it would be 4, 16. So that's how we would build up that table. We're also going to do Gina's scrapbook, and for Gina's scrapbook, it was 1 page gets 6 photos. And so that's a 1, 6 when we graph it. Our 2 pages will have 12 photos, and that's 2, 12. 3, and notice that we're going up by 6 on Gina's, and we're going up by increments of 4 photos on Renee's. So for every extra page, we have 6 photos for Gina, and for every extra page, we have 4 photos for Renee. And so these are our ordered pairs that we're going to use for Gina's scrapbook and for Renee's scrapbook. And so the next part says we're going to graph that. You can set up your graph, just 2 lines, don't get too crazy. You can skip count. Remember that our biggest number is going to be Gina having 24 photos. So honestly, as long as you can skip count, and the max number you need is 24. I would recommend you could skip count by 2s. They skip counted by 3s. You could skip count by 4. Whatever works for you, as long as you're skip counting equally. You can't go, I'm going to start with 3 and then go to 9 and then go to 17 and then go to 24. That wouldn't work, okay? So don't do something like that. That's not going to work. You have to go by steady increments. So if you're doing by 3s, like they have in their picture, it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, etc. So go ahead and create this table, this coordinate plane. And on the bottom for the number of pages, please make sure that you label. And for photos, you label that as well. And so we're going to do 1 through, honestly, I thought it was just 1 through 4, so we don't need 5, 6, and 7 on our bottom line. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then up this way, you're going to go all the way up to 24. I'm not going to redo it since it's already on my paper. And if you have your textbook, you have it right there that you could even cut it out and put it on here if you'd like to. Completely up to you. So you graph the ordered pairs for each friend on the same coordinate plane. And what you see here, because we're gonna really have to look at this and see what the patterns are. You see that for every 1 page we get 6 photos, and that continues on for Gina, and then every page gets 4 photos, and that continues on for Renee. You'll notice that Gina is a steeper line than Renee. Steeper meaning that if you were having to climb up this hill, this one would be harder to climb up than if you had to do Renee's like this. Okay, steeper means harder to climb up, or you'll go down really fast, that kind of thing. All right, and we're just going to stop and reflect. This is the last part, so don't worry, this is almost over. It says Marta is also making a scrapbook, and she places 5 photos on each page. How does the ratio of photos to each page compare for her book, Gina's book, and Renee's book? So if she's doing 1 to 5, then her lines, and I'm going to use a different color here, her lines, okay, for 1, it's going to be 5. It's going to actually be in the middle here between those two. And then for 2 books, it would be 10, right? So it would be right here. And then for 3 books, it would be 15. So it would be right here. And for 4 books, it would be 20. So it would be like right here. And so you notice that she's kind of in the middle between Gina and Renee. And Renee's is still the least amount of steepness. And Gina's is the highest level of steepness because we're comparing our ratios of 1 to 4, 1 to 5, and 1 to 6. This is Gina, this is our new friend Marta, and this is Renee. And so the biggest number of all these fractions is 1/4. You can find that by doing common denominators if you need to, and figure out which one is the biggest number. You can also do top dog in the doghouse and change these all to decimals, and that would show you that 0.25 is the biggest one because that was what this one would be. 0.25, this would be 0.20, and I believe this one would be 0.16 repeating or 13 repeating. All right, guys, that ends our wonderful lesson for today. I know you enjoyed hearing my voice for an extra 13 minutes, and I'll see you in school. Make sure you have these notes for me. Bye.
Okay, look at this example now. Here we have table. The first column here we have time, x. The second column we have distance, y. So now x, the horizontal line means the time in the second, and the vertical line, y, means distance by feet. Now, when I have 1 second, I have 4 feet. So I can write it as order pair 1, 4, 1, 4. Here I have 2, here I have 8, I can write 2, 8, 2, 8. Here I have 3, here I have 12, I can write 3, 12. And here 4, here 16, here I can write 4, 16. As you know, the name of this table, ratio table. How to draw this table? The first step, draw the coordinate plane, the horizontal line x-axis, the vertical line y-axis, and here O, the origin. Then here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. And here also the same numbers. The first point, 1 in the x, 4 in the y. 1 in the x, 4 in the y. Go at the first to the x. This is 1. And 4 in the y. Here 4 in the y. Draw line from 1 to the 4 and from 4 to the 1. The struct between the two lines will be here in this point. So this point, this pair, means 1 in the x, 4 in the y. The second point, we have 2 in the x, 8 in the y. This is 2 in the x, and this is 8 in the y. Draw line from 2 to the 8, and draw line from 8 to the 2. Here the construct between them. This is the point 2, 8. And here 3, 12. 3, 12. Draw line from 3 to 12, and from 12 to 3, the point will be here. And the last point, 4 in the x, 16 in the y, 4 from x and 16 from y, so the point will be here. The next example, we have here 2 tables. The first table, the first line here we have photo, this is x. And the second line we have cost, this is y. One photo, the cost $20. I can write this as order pair 120. Here 2, here 40, I can write 240. 240. Here 3, here 60, I can write 360. Here 4, here 8, I can write 8. So, I want to draw now the first point, 120. 1 in the x, 20 in the y. This is the point. The second point, 240. 2 in the x, 40 in the y. 2 in the x and 40 in the y. This is the point. And here we have 360. 3 in the x, 60 in the y. So the point will be here. Now 4 in the x, 80 in the y. 4 in the x and 80 in the y. The point will be here. So this is the 4 point for this table. The next table also we have photos x and cost y. One photo, the cost 12, so I can write 112. 2 photos, the cost 24, so I can write 224. 3 photos, the cost 36, so I can write 336. 4 photos, the cost 48, so I can write 448. To draw the first point, 1 in the x, 12 in the y. 1 in the x, and the 12 here up 10 will be here. So this is the first point. Then we have 2 in the x, 24 in the y. 2 in the x, and the 24 in the y. So the second point here. Now we have 3 in the x, 3 in the x, and 36 in the y. Here. 4 in the x and 48 in the y. 4 in the x and 48 in the y will be here. So the 4 points here, the graph of this table, the graph of this table. This is the meaning of the coordinate plane and how to graph the table ratio and how to graph the table ratio. Who has a question now? What is the name of our lesson today? What is the name of our lesson today?
Graph ratio table.
Graph table ratio using coordinate plane. Using coordinate plane. Graph table ratio using coordinate plane. Using coordinate plane. But we have now some exercises. Prepare your notebook or any paper to work with me. The question here, graph and label each point on the coordinate plane. As you see here, we have the coordinate plane. What's the meaning of the coordinate plane? Coordinate plane include the horizontal line x-axis, the vertical line y-axis, and the instruct point O, the origin point. Here, as you see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And here we have the order pair. A, 1, 3. 1 means the location in the x-axis, and 3 means the location in the y-axis. So this is 1. This is 1 in the x-axis, and this is 3 in the y-axis. So draw line. You can draw line here from 1 to 3, then from 3 to the 1. So this is the point. This is the point here.
مستر هذا درسناه الصف الرابع.
Yes. Now I want from all to draw the coordinate plane in your note paper, in your notebook, and try to label, to represent this point inside this coordinate plane. You have 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, I will draw the point. Then you can compare between my work and your work. Yalla, you can start, please. Draw this coordinate plane in your note paper and try to represent this point inside the coordinate plane. Start. Okay, listen to me. Then you can compare between my work and your work. This is the coordinate plane. We have the horizontal line x-axis and the vertical line y-axis. And here the n-strict point O, origin point. This is 0, 0. And here we have the order pair P equal 4, 3. 4 means the location in the x-axis, and the 3 means the location in the y-axis. So, determine 4 in the x-axis, this is 4, and the 3 in the y-axis, this is 3. Now try to draw line from 4 to the 3. And from 3 to the 4.
Mr. Audi.
So this is the point. This is here the point. And the name of this point B, 4 in the X, 3 in the Y. Now try to represent this point C 2, 0 inside the coordinate plane. You have 2 minutes. Okay, listen to me now. Here we have the coordinate plane. We have the horizontal line x-axis and the vertical line y-axis. Then the intersect point, we have O, the origin, 0, 0. And we want to represent this point, C20. What's the meaning of C20? Always the first number in the order pair means the location in the x-axis. And the next number means the location in the y-axis. So here we have 2 in x-axis. We have 2 in x-axis. And no number in y-axis, 0. Means the point just here in the x-axis. Means the point just in the x-axis. So this is the point. This is 2 in the x and 0 in the y. 2 in the x and 0 in the y. So the name of this point C x and the y. Now you can try with number 4. You have 2 minutes.
Mister, I finish.
Great. Okay, here we have coordinate plane. This is the horizontal line x-axis, and this is the vertical line y-axis, and this is the intersect point O, or origin, 0, 0. How to draw now D, 2, 5? What's the meaning of 2? 2 means the location in the x-axis, and 5 means the location in the y-axis. So go to the 2 in x and draw line to the 5 in y, up. Then go to the x, to the 5 in the y, and draw line to the 2. So the point will be here. And the name of this point D, in the y, So this is our lesson today. Who has a question now? Boys,
Mister, I don't have a
who has a question? Okay, let us to take attendance now. Today, Monday, this is the first period. Bati here. Okay. Harib here. Harib. Hamad Ali here. Hamad Ali.
نعم أستاذ.
حمدان الكعبي. حمدان.
نعم أستاذ.
Great. خالد خليل here.
نعم أستاذ.
دانيال.
Yes مستر.
سعيد محمد.
نعم أستاذ. سعيد محمد.
طلع اسمه بإمكانه يغادر. نعم. سلطان علي.
السلام عليكم يا استاذ محمد. دكتور محمد.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
مع حضرتك مستر وائل. قبل الطلاب بس ما يغادروا الصف يعني حبيت انبه على صف السادس. انا بقيت بدخل الصفوف كمشرف للمدرسه، مشرف للاقسام، فاي طالب عنده اي تجاوز او هيعمل ميتنج منفرد هعمل له بلوك وهضطر اخصم من درجات السلوك. الطلاب اللي هم عبد الله مسعود، محمد الحمادي، منصور علي، فلاح الشرياني اللي عملوا ميتنج المره الجايه هحاسبهم. ده اخر تحذير، فانا حبيت ادخل عن طريق الدكتور محمد بعد ما اخلص الحصه وانا متواجد جوه الحصص. كل الناس سامعاني، طلاب صف سادس سامعيني. ممنوع تعمل ميتنج منفرد، تدخل على المعلم فقط وبدون اي تجاوز. تمام يا شباب؟
تمام.
شكرا يا دكتور محمد.
الله استاذ وائل. مرحبا. سلطان غازي.
نعم أستاذ.
عامر.
نعم أستاذ.
عبد الله الحمادي.
نعم أستاذ.
عبد الله راشد. عبد الله راشد. عبد الله محمد الجابري.
نعم أستاذ.
عبد الله مسعود.
نعم أستاذ.
عمر الشامسي. عمر الشامسي. عمر أشرف. فلاح.
نعم.
محمد الحمادي.
نعم أستاذ.
محمد سعيد سريحي.
نعم أستاذ.
محمد حمادة.
نعم أستاذ.
محمد سهيل. محمد سهيل. مطاوع. معاذ.
Here. No, Mr. I'm here.
Okay. So this is our lesson today. Thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.